Hey guys, welcome back to PG Mid-Atlantic Spittin' Seeds podcast. I'm Gary Wilson along with John McAdams. Today we have special guest Pete Kritikos from Team Beast out of Comac, New York. Is that how you say it, Pete?
Comac. Yep.
Comac, New York. Thanks for being on, Pete. How are you?
My pleasure. Thanks for having me, guys. I'm doing as best as can be right now.
Yep, I think we're all in the same boat. But first things first, this is the Spittin' Seeds podcast, so got to ask you, what's your go-to seed?
Guess I go with original because I don't chew too many seeds, as my players know. So I'll stick with the classic kind.
There you go.
It's 2 days in a row with the classic.
2 days in a row. We had two guys yesterday that one liked the Jumbo Classic.
Yep.
The other guy liked just plain original. We had some ranches in there, mostly just ranch and original, right, John?
So far, I actually bought cracked pepper yesterday, and they're delicious.
Wow, good choice.
Nice.
Well, how's everybody doing? In the Beast family, is everybody safe and well and healthy?
Yeah, we have some cases. We have a family in Brooklyn. Father has some symptoms. We have some family members that have some symptoms, but so far, knock on wood, everybody's been okay. Been safe, been doing, social distancing, staying home, doing the right stuff. So it's been, you just got to listen and wait at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I know you're pretty far out east on the island, but the city of New York is just infested with it. There's so much chaos and population out there. So, I mean, the closer you are to the city, the better chance you have. But hopefully, they're working hard to fight it.
Yeah, we actually have a lot of players from Manhattan and Brooklyn and Queens and Staten Island. So they're dealing with it. It's right there. It's in their face. And out here in Suffolk and in Nassau County, it's getting, it's spreading pretty quick. From what we're hearing, but hopefully that starts to slow down a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you guys aren't the city, but you still have what, 6 million people in an hour radius. So it's not like the population is lacking out there.
Nope.
Well, good deal. So we just want to know, what are you doing with the guys in relation to staying in contact with them, keeping them in their training rituals. I saw a couple things on your Instagram. Obviously the players are sending you videos and you're reposting their videos for everybody to see. I also saw, you posted a 30-day throwing program for them to do. You scratched out all of the details so that we couldn't do it, but that's all right. That's all right. And then I also, saw on your story that you are sending the guys some emails. There wasn't too much detail about that, but I'm sure it's drills or videos for them to look at and to mock. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So first, I got to give credit to the staff. Between administration and our coaches and our trainers, they all feel for the kids. I mean, Let's face it too. They all want to be on the field also. So communicating with the kids, going back and forth with them makes us feel a little alive at this point too. But we know these kids, at some point this is going to get lifted and they got to hit the ground running. So we've been lucky enough to have a few of our trainers do some videos, some at-home training, whatever they can do. And we were able to post those to our YouTube page. We have one of our coaches put together a homework assignment, which is what you're referring to about check your emails, that I put up on my post. Kind of just we use sportsrecruits.com to help us with recruiting, so the kids get familiar with some schools. And, it's not just I want to go to Vanderbilt. They find out that there's some schools and, Division 1, 2, 3 locations, things like that. So we got them doing some research on there just to familiarize themselves with the rest of the country that they don't, these teams that they don't see on TV that, more than likely they're going to play at those schools.
Sure.
Or something similar. So we got some homework assignments going on. The 30-day program is, our pitching program is called the Command Center. TJ was a Vanderbilt national champion. Alex, a college coach. And the two of them put together a really good program this offseason. Guys saw a lot of good things from that, not just velo growth, but pitchability. And we're just kind of piggybacking that now with hoping this April 30th ban comes out. I just wanted something. Listen, it's a goal, right? We don't get out April 30th. We don't get out. All the throwing program really is some pre, some post, and also, we're long tossing today. You're throwing a bullpen today. You're doing this today, just to give them something visually to see and to know that we're there for them. And we care. We care about them. And, listen, we miss these kids, man.
Yeah.
There's nothing better
Absolutely.
in the middle of the summer being on the field with these guys or getting high school, highlights and putting it up for them. Like, we pull for these guys. They're like our little brothers. So it's killing us right now. But, there's more important things out there, like everybody's health and our, listen, my mom she doesn't have COVID-19, thank God, but she's locked in a house and, I'm dropping off groceries to her and, I can't really see her. So, we got to worry about the elderly and everybody else right now. And the boys know it. But in the meantime, they're doing their work. They're doing their tee work, their soft toss, whatever they can do, they're doing. I got a kid from Brooklyn thrown into a brick wall, whatever it takes at this point.
Sure.
Yeah,
Me and Gary spoke about it. The refreshing point or possibly off a refreshing point was the ingenuity that's been going on with trying to stay ready. Whether it's your guys' throwing program with Coach TJ, who was a Vanderbilt guy, obviously. I know who he is. Scotty Brown, obviously, perhaps maybe the best pitching coach in the country. So I'm sure that the knowledge that he's gained to give these guys, whether it's not just pitchers and position guys too alike, just seeing them, whether they're playing catch out in their backyard, throwing into a mattress I've seen from guys. It's actually cool to watch, and I'm interested to see these obscure things that they're kind of doing and the ingenuity that's happening with technology such at a fingertip. It'll be cool to see how they come out of it, see where they're at, and see where we can kind of go from there to maybe build the game, see what programs. I mean, you're fortunate enough to have good coaches like TJ, Coach Gibson, who have been through some stuff yourself with your experience with the Greek national team and stuff like that too. So it's a cool experience, and I'm interested to see from a scouting perspective what these kids are going to look like.
Isn't it kind of refreshing, though? It kind of brings us back. I mean, I'm probably older than you guys, but isn't it nice to, I used to go on my front lawn and throw a ball up, and use the pitch back and hit off a tee into a net. Like, we didn't have facilities when I was growing up. We got a beautiful facility here we can't even use right now. We've been shut down for 3 weeks. So it's nice to see them get back to, I'm sure they're bored out of their minds with some of the stuff, but at least they're doing it and they're getting back to, some of the stuff that we used growing up. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, we've talked about that in quite a few of our previous podcasts, just, bringing it back to the roots, bringing it back to old school. I can always, I have this picture embedded in my mind from when I was little. I lived in a townhouse, and right outside of the townhouse, we just had a set of 3 steps. And I would take either a baseball or a tennis ball, and I would throw the ball at the steps, not knowing what step it was going to hit, and just react to where it was going. It's like little things like that could just make you a better, in my case, a better infielder. But I saw some of your guys. One of your guys looked like he was throwing off of a big pillar at a football stadium.
Yeah.
It's just cool to see what these guys are coming up with to stay in shape, keep the baseball alive.
Well, you know what? Maybe some of them take out of this, and I hope they do, and I'll kind of beat it into them. When there's a will, there's a way, and there's, you have to just sometimes say, you know what, my situation is what it is. I got to make the best of it, and a little bit of Rocky Balboa, right? A little bit of, hey, I got to do what I got to do, and I'm chasing chickens rather than, in a state-of-the-art ring, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So now to kind of transition, now we've seen what you guys are doing, and obviously you're speaking to them on a regular basis. NCAA made a ruling yesterday regarding a blanket waiver for eligibility for seniors. And then also we've heard some numerous things as far as MLB draft ramifications, whether it's rounds going down, getting shortened for 2020 and possibly 2021, along with a lot of the bonus pools getting a little bit changed and money getting deferred. Obviously, within your program, I mean, you've had guys, whether it was your MVP Beast teams, with guys like Tim McHugh have gone on, but specific guys like a Channing Austin, who this year maybe he's going to lose his high school season, who is committed to UVA, and now he's not going to maybe get a chance to kind of show those pro scouts or get an opportunity to say, hey, I'm here, I'm ready to go to pro ball, and he may now end up on campus type thing. Did you have a particular feeling on the blanket waiver one way or the other? And what have you been hearing from your guys, possibly from a draft standpoint and or a college standpoint?
All right, so I guess there's different pools of players that are affected in different ways. So, our 18 class, we only had 6 or 7 guys. We're young. Those guys are all getting the extra year. I'm happy for them. I'm happy for all the kids in college. I think it's great. Everybody deserves 4 years of college of playing ball. I think the 20s were a little worried about things as far as, hey, how crowded is it going to be when I get there? I think some of our 20s are in a unique spot where, it's a pitcher that throws 90. It's
Sure.
A position player that's been coveted by them for a long time where, hey, we're good. We want that kid. I've reached out to a lot of these schools already. Or the high academic D3 guys where they seem to be in a good spot. The D2 guys are a little bit worried because, they're going to schools like Franklin Pierce and where there'll be a lot of guys there. I think they just got to keep working. They just got to keep working. They got money. That means, the schools show that they love them. They just got to keep working, and it is what it is. As far as the draft guys, we had 4 guys that had home visits that were, I don't want to say that, I don't think they'd be, who knows? Channing could have been high.
Sure.
Rest of the guys probably a little bit lower. I think they're probably going to get on campus, and the draft being shortened could hurt them a little bit. I think we'll see some 20s getting redshirted. Right away, of course, the 21s packed. A lot of them will be really good and mid-major guys and have a lot of good leads. I mean, we have 2 teams where, we have guys that are on a lot of boards and probably about, as soon as they could have broke, or if some guys with school ball would have gotten offers as soon as some schools saw them play again.
Sure.
They're a little worried. I think it's going to be, let's let the dust settle. Let's reach out to all these schools and see what their needs are. The bottom line is, you always had the work, and every year it's year to year anyway. So, you just got to, buck up and do what you got to do, and they got to stay positive. I think there are some schools I've spoken to that are like, yo, coach, we're just going to skip the 22 class, go right to your 23s. Let me know their schedule. And that's fine. The 22s will have to work a little harder. And same with the 21s. The 23s now, and we got, Gibby's team and Jose LeBron's team, we got some stud 23s. And those guys are going to be, at the forefront this summer. If there is a summer, which I think we're all thinking and hoping there is.
Yeah.
Honestly, we're just reaching out to all the players individually and just trying to calm them down and say, hey, here's how it is. Look, we have a West Virginia commit, 21, Tyler Cox.
Yep.
I reached out to Sabins yesterday. I said, hey, coach, I know you got a lot going on. He called me up in the town. He goes, dude, we love him. We only have 3 juniors. We only have 3 seniors. He's fine. So, will there be a case where, hey, we got a log jam? Of course, it's going to happen.
Sure.
But I have faith in our guys. They work their butts off.
Absolutely. And then, going back on it, you touched on some of those guys. Obviously, you guys have a long track record of players coming in and out of the program, moving on to college baseball and or pro ball. And to kind of highlight some of those guys, there's the everyday guys that we know. Channing Austin from Poly Prep, who's committed to UVA, or similar situation like we were talking about earlier with the blanket waiver and stuff, like a Devin Rivera, who's going to Villanova. He's probably in a different spot possibly than Channing because UVA is a little bit bigger program, obviously, and so forth. And then guys like you mentioned, your 21s, Tyler Cox, who was highly sought after by West Virginia. And then just kind of want to touch on some other guys, and you can speak and highlight on them, but there's certain uncommitted guys that I've seen numerous times in the past couple months, like a Bobby Stang or a Matthew Canizares. And then even as that trickle-down effect where a Patrick Jarvis, whose brother goes to Northeastern, and he's a kid who's been up to 89. He's now maybe going to lose his high school season, so he's in that boat. And then any other sleepers, like you said, that 23 class seems to be a class that you're very excited about. So just touch on those high level guys that we already know about. Potentially some of those uncommitted kids like Bobby Stang, who I've seen as a big, strong kid, and Matthew Canizares, who's like a dynamic athlete type kid from the outfield. Seen him on the mound a little bit. And then any sleepers you may have.
Yeah, and by the way, before you start, Pete, just want to recognize Team Beast for their 58 preseason All-Americans, and you
Yes,
said 72 counting the guest players, right?
Yeah, so we're pretty lucky where, our rosters, our guys don't miss. But when we go to a bigger tournament, or if God forbid there's an injury, we'll pick up a PO. We picked up a kid from Tampa who's actually going to guest play with us this summer for our 22s. And when you add in those guys, yeah, but 58 homegrown guys, it's pretty cool. Cool. I mean, listen, we really respect Perfect Game. As you can see with our schedules, we're very Perfect Game heavy. We feel it's a great platform for us, and they've always been good to us. We get treated pretty well. With that being said, it's preseason. So what does that mean? I told the boys, don't let your heads get big. It means nothing. You go out there and you lay an egg this summer, it means nothing. You got to perform on the field in front of the coaches when the time is right, not at some off-site field when there's nobody there and going 3 for 3, and I got to call them and say, hey, went 3 for 3. Do it in front of them, and you'll be okay. And to highlight, and I appreciate that. Thank you. To highlight some of the guys, to be honest, this is the most excited I've been from our 21s to our 24s, really. It's really been fun putting these teams together, which is nice because I get no pushback. I get to put guys where the trainers and myself feel like they should go. And we never really stack a team. We'll have 2 or 3 teams at an age group that we feel can go out and compete. Our 2020s had a Division I commit on all 3. And everybody on all 3, besides 4 guys, have committed in the 20 class. The 21s, Stang is a guy that, listen, you want an impact bat that has a hose behind the plate that can play some first base. I think Stang is a no-brainer. He's a great kid. He's smart, good family. He's a kid that, you want around. He'll do whatever you want to do. You need him to go catch bullpens, he catches bullpens. You need him to hit a bomb, he hits a bomb. Guys like Canizares with his athleticism, Torres, Keys, who's very high, Perfect Game. I believe he's a first-teamer Northeast. The kid is just lights out player. Patane, Urena, Diaz. I mean, we're pretty stacked as far as on that 121 team. On the other 21 team, there's a lot of guys that are unknown that came to us this year, like a Daniel Sohn, like a Jerry Kerstead, guys from Massapequa with high level of talent that just haven't been on the scene yet. It's going to be interesting to see where they go. The 22s, I think, is where we're going to make our mark. I really think, we've done well. We've done okay. We could always get better. I think our 22 class with Ray's Team Beast 2022 and the MVP Beast 22 team in Galliano, retired Milwaukee Brewer, he's got a team in the 22 class. He's got a couple of guys throwing low 80s. He's got some guys that just haven't blossomed yet, but they'll get there. For the P team, you got Guggen, who I always put up this video catching Matt Harvey.
Yeah, absolutely.
Guy, I've been on a lot of calls with some D1 schools for him. Gio Calasante with Poly Prep kid. He's got an offer right now from a very good school, and we're working. He probably would have been seen during the school year right now at some of those schools that he's on talks with. You got guys like Lindquist who, just got put up as the number 20 player in the state of New York.
Yes,
Jalen Hernandez. Yeah, Jalen Hernandez from Brooklyn. I'm sorry, but not many pro swings like that kid has. I mean, he's on his way. I think he's going to be a guy that lands at a nice D1. I would say, we'll end up with about 20, 21 D1s in the 2 class. We'll be probably 15 to 18 in the 21 class. And the 23s, we have a couple of guys on calls with some Power 5 schools already.
It's awesome.
We have 2 lefties throwing 83 right now. One's a 6'3" kid. The other one is a kid that slings it. He's a little bit of a Chris Sale. That team can hit. Wade Kelly going to Coastal Carolina. We got his little brother. We got little McHugh's brother. This kid Connor Schramm, Pantina. We're blessed right now, and the big thing I would say is the coaching and the scheduling has been huge. Having a perfect game laden schedule with doing team camps, doing some local events that are good, and playing every weekend. We'll play 12 tournaments. We don't do league play. We're putting Gibson down with the 23s with LeBron and having our 22s, being coached by Ray, Alex, and Charles, and the 21s, myself and Eric and Coach Rockio from Elwood has been great. And our 24 team, between Bailey and Krasminski and Ramonis and a couple other guys, it's going to be special to see. We went from a bunch of guys doing some stuff right to possibly being something real special in the next few years.
Sure. Yeah, and you guys have always, getting that coaching staff, and we know as travel ball guys or former travel ball guys, your coaches are your best asset. And how they go about and develop relationships with their players and start to create that camaraderie and that trust is then part of building that program that you started and you've kind of built up, starting with that MVP team with McHugh and so forth, and now translating into having a program wide and full of talent, obviously. And even now you've expanded. I saw Ty Manisi yesterday committed to Ohio. So expanding a little bit there from the region of New York and gathering some guys or some pieces. Listen, you go to the big tournaments, like you said, picking up a PO from here or a big bat from here because they've expressed interest in your program. That's a billboard for future success, obviously, and future addition. And that's a testament to you as the program director and obviously your coaching staff, because people are coming to you from other places now that you normally don't go to be part of this of Team Beast.
Yeah, and it's funny because we got a couple of Pennsylvania guys, Connecticut guys, a kid from Florida. Now it's going to be, he's going to be 8 of 12 tournaments, North Carolina, Jersey, Team Beast 2022. And I didn't touch on those guys. You got Nolan Araki and Gino and Antonopoulos throwing 85 and Sucre and a couple of studs. We got Hunter Ostra from Pennsylvania, very good catcher, looking at the East Tennessee, the ETSUs and the Middle Tennessee states of the world. And I think he's a good fit there. I think it's, with that, it's a little tough to announce right now, but we'll be expanding. It'll come out when this fog is lifted. It's really not the right time to be celebrating anything right now. But we will be putting up some interesting things over the next few weeks, hopefully, of our expansion. And we have some pretty good guys in place, some ex-pro players, AA guy with I don't want to give away who it is, but they'll be starting Team Beast teams down south and some other stuff. So it's pretty exciting stuff.
That's awesome.
So, and I think the biggest thing too, like to your point about the coaching, our families trust us, and these guys coming over from other organizations, they start to see, it's not just putting a schedule out and doing, 3 practices a week. It's Ray doing classroom stuff during the winter, talking about having recruiting talks, how to take video the right way, different things like that. We got 3 guys that are full-time that don't do anything but college recruiting that help me with the college recruiting. And we have another 4 guys that are full-time that are in the facility giving lessons, working with the kids. So it's, we've been blessed, with my partners to be able to put, some guys in the right place to succeed, the coaching staff and stuff like that. So it's been fun. I didn't think when I got back from playing with the Greek team that when I opened a facility, it would turn into this. First year we didn't have teams. But it's pretty crazy. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's crazy how fast things can grow. And, we can tell from the outside looking in how much time you guys invest into your teams and your players. It's a class act when Beast, especially MVP Beast, is in a tournament. We know that they're going to go deep. We're excited to have you guys as a PG team, a PG program. We love watching you play, and we're hoping that we get to see you out on the field sooner than later.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I can't wait, guys. Can't wait. Need to get out there.
Absolutely. Well, Pete, we appreciate you being on. If you wanna give everybody your Twitter handle, your Instagram handle, just so that they can go on and follow what you guys are doing, go ahead.
Sure. Yeah, you guys can follow us. My Instagram is MVP Beast _ Coach 7. We also have Instagram for our the high school guys, which is Team Beast Baseball. Those are the two that you could go follow for high school stuff for the little guys. LI _ Beast. But yeah, feel free to follow, check out our stories, see what we're doing, and just for everybody out there, not just the Beast guys, stay positive, and we'll get back on the field soon. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely.
It was good.
Appreciate your time, Pete.
Thanks
All
for
right,
being
guys,
on.
stay safe. Thank you.
All right, see you later.
Take care.